kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
So who's your favorite superhero? Or to lose the fear? Or maybe we just don't need saving while you're here. Could you tell me when the lights come on? This does not feel like home. No. If it's something that I paid for, it should be something that I own. So don't we look pretty with nowhere to go? It's cool to be lonely. I said, didn't you know? I think I'll marry a stranger that I met online. It's not that it's not love, it's a sign of the time, of the time. If only we could learn some patience, I'd take a course. Or maybe we could split the money and go straight for divorce. Could you tell me when we fall in love? Just write it down. Or let me know if you find my feelings, if you see them around. So don't we look pretty with nowhere to go? It's cool to be lonely. I said, didn't you know? I think I'll marry a stranger that I met online. And it's not that it's not love, it's a sign of the time, of the time. I need a feeling, I need a fix. So take me out driving, or we could sleep in the sticks. It's too much too easy. Sit along for the chase, sit along for the gas in the world, along for the space. So don't we look pretty with nowhere to go? It's cool to be lonely. I said, didn't you know? I think I'll marry a stranger that I met online. And it's not that it's not love, it's a sign of the time, of the time.
Why do you like
until the ribbon breaks?
Because it makes me happy.
up with a cigarette in my teacup. Half monkey, half man. Big dreams, small plan. So welcome to the Pirate Bay. All free, no catch. No thieves round here. You could leave your door on the latch. We had a pretty good year. Let's move on to the next. There's a time for reflective.
Now let's get it all in perspective. 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 Now let's get it.
Oh no, the road to Damascus closed for repair. Yeah, life's still a ball, Cinderella. You can see it everywhere. Nobody ever really dies now. I'm not a medicine man, and I don't believe in heaven, but I do believe in holograms. Love, everybody needs you. It's a short life, just a preview. There's a time for reflective.
Now let's get it all in perspective. 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 Now let's get it all in perspective.
KEXP, where the music matters until the ribbon breaks, here on the morning show. 3 dudes in the band, 3 dudes drumming right at the end. I love it. That was great. And can't say enough about this live show, too. You've got to go to Barbarossa tonight, see these guys live. It is good to have you in town. I know we had scheduling something before, and you didn't make it in, so I was happy we were able to make it
thanks for having us.
Yeah, where are you with the tour? How long have you been in the U.S.? Playing, I mean, I know you're down in L.A. now, but how long have you been in this part of the tour here?
So this is, I think tonight will be our 5th show on this run. Is that right? I have to look at everyone else because my brain is frazzled.
Already?
But no, before that we were in Europe, and then we were in Europe.
That'll do it. And you're living over there. You're from there, right? You're from the UK, obviously, but living in L.A. now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Moved to New York for about a year,
Yeah.
and then chased the sun to Los Angeles, where we've been for another year.
You're not the first person to do that. How is it? How is LA for you?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, really, really cool.
It's a lot different from where you're from.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It rains all day, every day where we're from. So there's that. But yeah, you know, the move to the States was, you know, a cultural thing in a way. You know, a lot of the music that we wanted to make, and part of the reason for making this record was the tie-up with film.
Yeah.
So that's why the move to New York and culture, and to just be part of it. And obviously LA is, you know, you can't be any closer to the film world, you know, so it was a part of that and just the experience.
Do you have some film history in your past at all?
Yeah, I did my university degree was in filmmaking.
Yeah.
So I didn't, and for me it was always editing. I loved editing to music. So I didn't know, at some point I didn't know which one I was going to follow, but then Until the Ribbon Breaks was a way of kind of trying to combine both.
Yeah. And did it turn out like you wanted it to turn out? Did it, you know, when you started this, or is it completely gone a different direction?
It's gone a different direction in a great way. It's now more than ever feels like a band.
Right.
You know, rather than a studio project and a kind of concept, which is what it was in the beginning. But for sure now it feels like, I mean, we still try and incorporate the visuals and the film element as much as we can. But now it feels like a band on the road doing that, you know?
That's great.
Which is great.
Yeah. And for the visuals, so on your live show, do you have that going at all times, or is it in the studio? Because I know you mentioned a few things I saw about how you wrote to film, and I think that's totally interesting. But at your live shows, do you incorporate all that now?
Yeah, so we play with a projector, a screen behind us. In the beginning, I think we used a lot of that, you know, the whole kind of show that was projected behind us the whole time. And now it's about trying to really define how they can work together, you know, and it's like about when to use it, when it adds rather than just it's there. But I think we'll always experiment with visuals and lighting. It's a huge part of kind of the aesthetic and the concept of what we want to put across.
How much are you aware? I always think of a band up there because I love it when there's visuals, and I just saw a band the other day who did that. How much are you aware though of what is projecting behind you? I mean, I know you put it together, but do you get into the song? I mean, it's behind you in most cases.
Yeah.
So
no, it's a good
suddenly
question.
It's like flowers and a pretty thing. It's this totally dark song. Like, oh, we're way off tonight.
No, it's a good question. There's been a few, you know, these days I suppose you're relying so heavily on certain elements of technology. There's been a few times in the past where I've kind of turned round just to kind of get a vibe with Elliot on the drums or James on the keys, and I've noticed that it's the visuals for a different song we're playing. But more often than not, it's a kind of turn around and remember that they're there, and go, whoa, you know, that looks like it puts me in a different zone. Then it kind of gives it even more of an atmosphere.
Well, your music definitely has an atmosphere. I mean, that's what I like so much about it. There's a lot of emotion in it, and I think it's a great record. And it's your first full length.
Yes.
So now you were putting that together. You got the band together now, great band. And what's the next step for you guys? Just more touring? Do you want to work on new music? Are you already doing that?
I think we're kind of desperate to make new music.
Yeah.
You know, step up. I think a huge thing we learned from this record is, as I said, it started as very much a studio project, and now it feels very much like a band. And I think we want to take as much of that energy into the next music as possible. Just whether looser, liver, more drums, you know, more kind of less reliance on the technology, and you know, accepting that mistakes are okay.
Well, it's called A Lesson Unlearned. So
There you go.
I mean, I have to say something. And tonight, again, at Barboza. Tomorrow in Portland, you head down to California. And from there, you are...
Then we have a show at the Roxy in Los Angeles, and then in San Francisco. And then it's straight into the studio.
Sweet. Well, I can't wait to hear more music from you guys. And we're going to hear some more right now. You got a couple more for us?
We do.
All right. Take it away.
Cool. Thank you.
I've been knee-deep in trouble, trying to stay afloat. And pressure, noose round the throat. And quick storm coming, better stay indoors. Secrets buried in the floor. And baby wants a new life, it's what she might get. Pressure, noose round my neck, and send me down a road, lost out to sea. And trouble now coming for me. Maybe in another life, if we get another life, maybe in that life I could learn to love you. Maybe in another time at the door. Pressure, pressure, poison at the core. Quick storm coming, God save the queen. Better wake up from that dream. Riot in the town, smoke in your lungs. Pressure, pressure, blacking out the sun. Send me down the road, lost out to sea. Trouble now coming. Maybe in another life, if we get another life, maybe in that life, if I could learn to love you. Maybe in another time, if there is another time, maybe in that time I could learn to love you. I was born with my back to the stars. Turn me over, I'd like to see. Here comes the morning to end this dream. Turn me over, I'd like to see. I'd like to see me. I'd like to see. And you, what have you done for me? You've opened up my eyes. If I die with my back to the stars, would you see that they tell my truth? That I did what I could, that I tried to be kind. You can ask my girl for the proof. She's a picture, and you're a picture, and you fill up both of my eyes. Oh, I see you, just know I see you in the pink of the summer sky. I'd like to see me. And you, what have you done for me? You've opened up my eyes. I'd like to see me. And you, what have you done for me? You've opened up my eyes. In April showers, good May, warm June. Well, it's July soon. Here come the months, and watch them go. We used to love me when it snows. April showers, good May, warm June, bliss July soon. Here come the months, and I watch them go. Will you still love me when it snows?
Every session should end like that. Very nice, man. Very nicely done. That was just beautiful. Multitasking, too. You have so much to do. How do you keep up with all of that? All three of you, actually. Very, very busy. I would think, oh, crap, what do I do next? I got the horn. All right.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, it's not like it's live radio or anything. Until the Ribbon Breaks live here, sounding great. And again, I cannot recommend the show tonight enough at Barboza down in Portland the next night. Thank you for taking the time this morning. It's great to have you in our city. A big thank you to our video crew and our audio crew as well for making everybody sound and look good. And I want to remind everybody, these sessions are brought to you by our listeners. We are listener-powered, KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listenerpoweredkexp.org.